Alright, kiddos, this is your friend Jovi D, and I have a brand new show for you. The only backstory that I'm going to tell you is that this was done last fall, not too long ago, but it was a fun show. It is the first time that it's coming out on the air, and it's with, nonetheless, somebody that you know. So stick around. And there's the intro. Hello, my kiddos. This is your friend, former media corporate Joey D. And the following is a sponsor ad. Anchor. Anchor is the app where you can create your podcast for free. And you can do amazing things with it. It has creation tools that allow you to record, edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you needed to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app and go to Anchor FM to get started. I cannot wait to hear your podcast. Bye.
Yovi?
Yes, hi, LaShawn. How are you?
Very well. How are you? All
right. How are you? Are you ready?
All right, quiet on the set. I'm ready.
We going in 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, Yovi D. It's Craig here from The Whistler. Just want to say hello.
Yovi, I thank you so much for trusting me and for having so much passion.
Jovi D, what is good, girl? I just want to thank you so much for the shout out, no doubt. I appreciate you because you great.
Hey, Yovi D. Thank you so much for stopping by and giving us some love. That was awesome.
On which one? Shame or please don't date me?
Please don't take me. I'm curious.
Oh my goodness. I chose
positive vibes here. Congratulations with everything that you're doing. Just keep doing your thing. Keep being you. I love it.
It's mind-boggling in a sense because, yeah, that's just the power of technology.
Hello. Hi, kiddos. This is Jovi D, your friend, a former media corporate in broadcasting and an entrepreneur venturing in podcasting. How are you? Welcome. The show is about to start right now. Hello, my kiddos. This is another great episode on the Jovi D Show. And I have a friend. She's giggling in the background. And you guys going to meet her right now. Her name is
Maria from Strongbody, StrongSoul. I am here, people. I'm visiting Yovi D today.
Guys, we're just really, truly, it's been a journey in connecting and making this possible. But you know what? Great intentions brings great results. And Maria, you can explain and elaborate a little bit more.
Well, I think that the reason I'm out here on social media is to resonate with people out there, whether I know their names or where they live, where they come from. It doesn't matter. And it's so interesting because Yovi found me on here and we have not interacted very much on this platform at all. But our energy, I can hear her voice. I can hear you, Yovi, and I know I like you already.
I know, right? It's so, well, we were kind of introduced, I think, either through Tanika Drake. Say kudos, yes. Tanika.
Yes. And we've been trying to connect, but life gets so busy and there's just so much happening all of the time, but so many people here too on this platform float in and out of it, depending on what's going on with the platform, the versions changing, or life just getting in the way. Some people have disappeared for months at a time.
Yes.
And then come back.
Yes.
And it's an ebb and flow that happens. And it's okay if we aren't listening to each other all of the time. I can feel the energy. Even if I'm not listening, I know that people out there are doing good work.
Right.
I like Tanika, like Positive Vibes. There are so many great people.
Yeah, Spidey Heck, Willie Garza, Edwin Arsarty with 2 Minute Love Hacks. There's great family out there.
And it's so funny because you and I, Yovi, can have a conversation and list 10 people that are great out here. And some of the lists we may not have heard people on each other's list. That means it's double what we even think. It's quadruple. It's millions out there.
Yes, yes.
You know, it just ripples out there. I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was telling me, he's like, oh, you have to listen to this show. You have to listen to that one. They are his favorite shows, but they don't necessarily resonate with me. And
Correct.
that's okay
Correct.
too.
Correct.
You know? So it's very interesting how that works, and you cross over to different people, and it's an awesome thing to cross over.
Yeah, walk of life and entertainment. Yeah, as I said, and kind of also the way that I carry this podcast is, with a little bit of, kindness and laughter, and but obviously very straight about business, how entrepreneurship, and how you build upon something. And I come from that corporate mindset and completely switching it into becoming an entrepreneur. And then
Yeah. Well, and I have to tell you, like, part of my thing is I was in the legal profession for many years.
Oh, wow.
And before that, I was in the concert business. And my dad, my dad was a salesman, and he would move around from company to company selling things. And in essence, he was his own employer. He was almost self-employed because it was all commission and stuff like that.
Correct. And an
I,
amazing needed skills, my kiddos.
yes, but I grew up feeling like I for sure did not want to do that. I have like this block against doing that, about self promotion, about marketing. I'm not a salesperson. But now at this time in my life, I feel like my message is so important that it's worth me waiving that discomfort.
Es que you had it in your genes, Maria. You see, you saw your dad, but you're like,
I guess, yeah. It's so interesting because I know, like, do you ever listen to Sherman, the crazy Asian? He's out here. He talks about entrepreneurship a lot. One of his things recently, he's saying a salesperson was saying they don't want to feel too salesy. And he was like banging his head because he's like, you are selling things. That's what you're supposed to
we
do.
really are. We always are. We sell like, oh, I like this place, so I went and I tasted this, and you really should try it. We actually are.
Yes. And this whole concept, I'm on the older side, so I don't understand this whole idea of influencer or content is off to me. It doesn't, I'm still trying to figure out what it all means. I'm like, well, what are they selling?
Well,
And it's like your opinion.
Yeah, that's what it is. They selling, social media comes with three purposes: to entertain, to inform, educate, or, motivate.
Right.
And then that's where maybe your category as your vision, your business, Strongbody Run Soul, because you are an inspiration, motivation, zen vibe. You are promoting the spirit and the good vibes for you to elevate, for us to elevate, to connect with that spiritual side of us.
Yes. And I love mixing all three of those categories together. I am getting better at getting my head wrapped around it, because it is, sometimes I'll do a show where it's real solid information about a particular author, for instance, from Hay House, or some really substantive self-improvement kind of stuff. But for the most part, I am not about information on my show necessarily, as much as the human experience and perhaps cautionary tales of what could happen if you ignore your body or your health for so long, or things to help people shift their perspective.
You know what? I'm literally like this, like a little kid. Like, I'm like, oh my God, she is talking about everything that I love and I like, because it really starts from the inside, that energy.
Definitely. Yes. And keeping that energy flowing, whether it's through emotional, spiritual stuff or personal training because I love sweaty weight training. That's what I do.
We gotta do that exercise. Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
You got to keep it flowing and keep your joints lubricated and your energy open as well. You can't get blocked up with fear and stop happiness from
Man, you're preaching, Maria. You're preaching. This is
it.
why it's happening.
Yeah, it's just both of them go together so much. And I think a lot of us out here are saying the same underlying truth, and we just use different vocabulary on occasion.
Yeah, different voices. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and different words will be trigger buttons for some people. If I use the word yoga with some of my clients, they run the other way. Or if I use the word cardio, some will run the other way.
Right.
It's like everybody has a different thing. If I use the word God,
Yes.
people might freak out. If I say manifest your future, so, everybody has a different interpretation of what the words mean. And that even the word spirituality, it's like motivation, inspiration, all of those can be interchangeable.
But that one makes you also an influencer, my dear. You are influencing, talking about what you know, what you've been through, what you understand about life in your most humble opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what is influencer.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because the way I teach, you will never find me telling anyone that they have to do something. I would never say you have to read this book or you have to watch this movie even or you have to do. I say this is what works for me.
Yeah.
And talking about it. Like I don't want to just go through my life being quiet because I like to be loud. But
you know what? With that note,
on occasion.
With that note, we're gonna be back, my kids.
You are now listening to YoVT featuring Maria Humphreys here on Anchor.fm. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, my kiddos, and you're listening to my show. Guess what? You know what? I got a question for you guys. Have you ever thought about starting your podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had so many questions. How do I record an episode? Where do I find background music? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places people like to listen? Where do I find advertisers? Well, you know the answer to all of this. It's very simple. The Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all is free. Yep. And 100% ridiculously easy to use. I'm telling you, I got ideas and it's just like on the go. You record them, you publish them, you're out. That's it. It's released. And so if you always wanted to start a podcast, what are you waiting for? Go to Anchor.fm/start to join me, the Anchor fam, and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's Anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. So you were saying the reason that you started the podcast was right within the elections, and you felt that you needed to spread your message with that.
Yes. So the elections just triggered me and just gave me so much. I just felt compelled to use my voice more out here in the world. And I was talking to Patrick of We Live on a Planet the other day, and we were both talking about we're doing this because we're putting our voices out there to make the world a better place.
Yes.
And if I can speak to being authentic, reminding people that they need to be quiet and get in touch with who they are, taking that little bit of time out to get in touch with their own guidance system. And then that's